Bam. This thing actually helps out a lot, man. It's not amplified. Hey, come here. Hold on, hold on. It's so far away. Who does God? Yeah. I don't think we can make breathing that. And breathe it in. You know what I'm saying? I think that's impossible. And give me some running. So, you ever hold the curtain for your life? If I ever told you, never seen brothers on the corner like this. Someone wanted to different color shirts or shirts, and they tell everybody. Some of that you have ever heard before. Nobody ever said it. Right. So, what's your soul called on the right? This side right is soul. Right. Right? Okay, then what you try to do right? What did you say the other way? Oh, listen to nobody ever told you. I don't ask this. This little gets. I know you got to do something. Right? So how did our ancestors get here? Did they fly? Did they go? Did they swim? They go up by boat, right? So now give me Genesis 15. I'm just gonna give you a reminder because a book that you were told that ain't shit and told that, hey man, y'all be lying. I will admit, that's that he read this book for. They was lying. Right? So what if you signed up for the guys like basketball, football, baseball? Imagine you signed up for the Bulls, right? And you were already in a remote contract and they were just giving you everything. You paid the part time. You know how our business with that road? With no money, no house, I took all the money. That being you, and the book, finish it with the actual why? Because he didn't read the contract. He didn't read what the people were giving him. Read that what's not. Said it to Abraham. No, they heard you got that seed from his land that's not there. He said, Abraham, know for certain that thy seed. That means his grandchildren are going to be enslaved in a land that's not there. He said it to Abraham. Genesis 15:13. Said it to Abraham, know for certain that thy seed shall be changed in the land that is not there. They shall serve you, they shall live for like 400 years in the land that is not there. This is the land. It's not yours, right? Now watch it. Hey, read that. Stay right there. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee unto Egypt again with ships. Egypt again with ships.
By the way whereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. There you should be sold unto your enemies, for bondman and bondwoman, and no man shall buy you.
No man, no man shall redeem. Now these people went into Egypt. They're going into Egypt again. Now, contrary to history, it's never been history. Egypt was destroyed. So they can't go back into Egypt a second time. Now they're going into Egypt by ship. Now look at Jerusalem and Egypt. It's like right across the river. You don't need to take a ship into Egypt. You know what this place is very important? Babylon. Right? And you find that precept where Israel and Judah were serving captivity back together. Check that out. What is that actually? I know you're dark brown. That is a negative feeling. Let's call it what it is. I'm brown. I'm just brown down the night. The shirt is black. Are you that? What color is this? Honey. Exactly. So there's a concept of creating. Did you know Africa was named after a white person, and male skipped us at the time? Conquered a little country called Africa. They named the whole country Africa. America was named after the hell of a species, right? Have you heard that? The Italian tribes. But Islam belongs to them. Islam belongs to the native Indians and Islam. Am I right or wrong? So you can't be African on that. Or can be black and brown. If somebody calls you black, they're calling you nasty. If somebody calls you black, they're calling you nasty. Because you're brown. I mean, that's just logic. It's real facts. Now check this out. Again, read that real quick. How many years have our people been? Whoa. Read that again. We're going to show you prophecy, which nobody showed you. The only people that are telling the truth is brothers that are here on this corner. You go everywhere we are here telling the truth. Like Matthew 1, the Bible was never made. Genesis 15 verse 30. And he said unto Abraham, know of a certain that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land, and is not there to see of Abraham, and shall serve you. They shall afflict them 400 years. And you've been afflicted for more than 400 years. 400 years goes back to that when you got to find out that 400 years that you're actually outside. You are. We are slaves, aren't we? We're serving. We're serving like average servants. But you're better than most of them. The black Hispanic in their region are better than everybody that's ever put in. But why is it that you're better than everybody, but you're a servant? Or your father is in prison, or gone, or somewhere else. Why is that happening? What do you do on this? Like, what grade are you? You're a freshman, right? All right. When you go to school, do you see people in the schoolhouse that look like, or do they look like white people? The teachers, they look like you?
No.
Oh, okay. When you go to a bank, do you see people in that bank that look like them? If I see one or two, this is that. All right. When you go into like the military, you see a lot of people that look like you. I would say it that. There's a lot of people that look like you. You know why? They got to catch you at this age that you are now. The life to get you to fight for it. Why? You don't know who you are? What reason I mean? Like the 400 years, no, during the 400 years. Then the captivity is coming from Egypt into the new Egypt, and into this right here. Jeremiah 50:33. Thus says the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, right? So that was the Exodus and you got Judah and you got Israel. Same people. That's the sixth son of Jacob, with the fourth son of Jacob. Me and my son were Judah. My bro over here is the tribe of Issachar. Right here, the so-called Exodus. Tribe of Issachar by their father. The father, not their mother. You're the seed of your mother. Are you who your mom is? I gotta ask you that. Who are you? Who are you technically? The mother or the father? Why is that? What about the girl? Young man. You don't know no man. How you doing today? That's Esau. Not quite. Not quite. He's more close to a ghost than that's a lot of science. You can't take that whole close to that's his name. Edomite. The nation of Edom. Can you trust him? He's not a white homeboy. He's not white homeboy, right? Oh, he's not white homeboy. He got his we got access to the white. Hey, don't worry about that. That's the whole thing. You want to know something. The spirit carries over. That's where, like, what do you see the role? If they don't want to come over and see you, or they want to go smoke a pipe. They want to go get high. And then after that, what? Same damn thing. The same thing. And then they're going to talk about getting customers they have no thing. Got no conversation. They know nothing. Hey, what's going on, bro? Yeah, hey, you gotta go with him? Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. They get that edification. And that's what happened. Hey, you never know that young man might have been Edomite. Hey, bring that out.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy. Never trust thy enemy.
That young man is an enemy that will drag him away from getting wisdom and understanding.
Or like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
It's sure enough to be wicked. It don't matter if he has the same skin on. That brother will sure be wicked. Right? We like to use this precept all the time dealing with white people and these other heathen nations. That's how they are. You should never trust them. Like as iron is sure to rust, it's sure they're wicked. They are sure to be wicked. Don't count them out. You should never count them heathen nations out. And it's a bad thing because you got to look at your people the same thing. They keep on that movie. If it's the same, you got to look at your people to make sure they don't get they're sure to keep wicked. It's like tortoise. Right? No, keep going down. Keep going down.
Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching,
right?
Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be.
And that's what he should have done. Young men, hey, can't humble himself crouching over there. Man, come on. Man. You know what I'm saying? He's humbled himself, so I won't get it. And that's what a person does. They humble their voice down for them. How y'all names doing?
Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet he take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him, as if thou hast what a looking glass.
So once you start paying attention to the things that he do, it'd be clear to see everything that he's doing. Well, let's understand this. How does a person humble themselves towards you? Pay attention to the sign. The person will meet you as you are. They say, meet me as I'm are. Be transparent to me. If I say, okay, a woman can be the same way, right? So let's say the woman is not being transparent when you say, hey, I'm looking forward to marriage. And she says, I am too. Well, hold on. You just went this a little bit deeper than she did. You told her what you wanted. You said, I want marriage, I want this many kids, and I want this and that. She agreed with the same thing that you agreed with. And you can't even hold that against her later on in life because she's going to say, well, you said that I did. I disagreed with you. I really want one kid. That's not being transparent. They're not, I was going to say indecisive. What they're being is not a straightforward what they want. They're coming to you being humble. They're humbling themselves. And you got to understand that your own people are going to be with them. So you got to be able to see them out. They're going to humble themselves to get what they want. You hear me?
And thou shalt know that his brother has not been altogether washed away.
Even like you knew back in the day, right? You knew go back in the day on the bar. She was a whole wicked as hell. But now she's coming to you like she all straight. She ain't doing none of that stuff anymore. She bought her work and she got to pay. She bought her work and everything, collecting her money. And he was like, yeah, she should be just about her money. She got a kid and everything, settled down and everything. But what you not knowing, she a TikTok guy. Well, you not knowing, she's an Instagram hoe. You not knowing though. See, because she came crouching to you. She knew you. She fed on that, but she knew you from back in the day. And she feeding on it now that, hey, we used to be cool back then and I changed a little bit, but I'm still a hoe. But I'm not going to tell her. Hey, if you pay attention to her, you're going to see that not all of her rust have all the way rusted away. You got to pay attention to it. You got to pay attention to pros. If you know me, you're not going to see that the rust is all not rusted away. All right, you got to be able to determine whether you're going to be around that brother or not, depending on his sins that you can deal with, sins that you can't. You got to be able to talk to these females and see what you're going to deal with when they come to them, because they're not very transparent. They're not available. They've been told to come as you are. They've been told to go get money, go get a degree, and bring resources to the table. But women, traditional woman has never been known to bring resources to the table. She's always had a man that brought the resources. She brought the womb. Reproduce. But you got to be transparent in a relationship and know that these women's rust are not all the way rusted away. These men's rust is not all the way rusted away. So if you pay attention to them, they will be as you white or looking black. You'll be able to see right through them.
Verse 12. Say him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee.
Say it again.
Say him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he standeth up in thy place.
He what?
He stand up in thy place.
He will overthrow me. He has a plan. You got to understand, some brothers have plans when they come around you. Some brothers' plans are genuine. Some brothers' plans are transparent as when you first talk to them. Hey, I agree, bro. I'm after this work. I'm trying to do this work. I'm trying to do the Lord's work. I get my ticket to the gate. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to pay attention. You want to read that again?
Book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 12. Say it not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat.
It was a scripture in the Apocrypha. A woman did the same thing to her husband. Soon as he accepted her, she stood in his place, slapped him, took the crown off of his head and everything. Well, that's what you call feminism today. And womanism. The woman wants to be in her spot. She wants an alpha male. She wants him to come as a traditional man, and she wants him to be all about her. And once you make that woman all about you, which a man should never do, a man should never, ever, ever make a woman all his. He should never put his options up on every man, even an average man, a white collar man, a blue collar man. You know what I'm saying? These brothers with higher stature in their paycheck. You should never ever put your options away. Can't do that. It does not work. All right? She will always want to take your place. And that partnership, that 50-50, you're dumb as hell to take 50 from a woman. That partnership, that is dumb. That is her saying, When you don't feel like being a man, she can put the pants on and do your job. You better pay attention, because then she'll become as a looking glass. As you wipe it, you'll be able to see everything that she does. If you don't pay attention to these brothers, you're going to get God. He's going to slip in and take your spot. And hey, a lot of brothers do that in these camps. That's why you see big camp, because one brother come in and you know what I'm saying, he's so cool, won't pay attention to the intentions. Some people caught on to his intentions. They told you about it, you wouldn't listen. And guess what? Most of the congregation over here, the other congregation over there. That's what happened. There's some more. We don't have no money.
And go at the last, remember my words, and be sprinkled therewith.
And now remember this. Remember that I said this. Because the day that you mess up and that woman rules over you, and that brother comes there and he scatters all the sheep in your congregation, you're going to be praised with Malachi's name in your head. You're going to be like, I should have listened to that brother. I should have listened. All right? Right here, go ahead.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 6. Who will render to every man according to his deed?
It said, who will render unto every man according to his deed? All right. So let's take it like this. When you're in school and you're doing good, you get good grades and everything, you get honor roll, you do this, you know what I'm saying, you get good stuff. That's what happens. You get rendered unto your good deeds, right? And then when you do bad deeds, you get bad grades, you get fights at school and everything, you get suspended and everything. That's what happens when you do bad. So who is going to render unto Israel their deeds? Right? The people that's not following the law and commandments, who's going to render the judgment? All right. Are we going to render us our judgment? All right, Mashiach Yahushua. But then he put his servants, all right, in the saints out here, all right, to push out that judgment, to push out the sin. You can turn back to the law, statutes, not to the Most High. That's right. All right.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6, verse 11. But thou, O man of God, fly these things and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, meekness.
It said, but thou, O man of God, are you talking to the Israelites? Right? He's talking to the Israelites that are scattered abroad, the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. He said, oh man of God, flee these things. Or what is the Most High telling us to flee? He's telling us to flee the wickedness of America. Right? He's telling us, stop doing what these wicked people do. Stop doing what she does. All right? Stop breaking the Sabbath, stop breaking the feast days. Or stop smoking, stop eating shrimp. Or stop all these things and come back to the Most High God. All right, start over.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6, verse 11. But thou, O man of God, fly these things and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, meekness.
These are all the things that we're supposed to follow after. We're not supposed to follow after. Psalm 37:28. Psalm 37. Or because it is time for our people to start having account for their actions. Or start being more accountable of what they do. Okay, because we have been wicked way too long. We've been wicked for over 400 years. All right, got that?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 28. For the Lord loveth righteous judgment and forsaken not his faith.
They said the Lord loves you. All right, go ahead.
They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off.
Are the saints, are they preserved forever? Are they kept nourished or kept, they're treated right forever? Are but the seed of the what?
But the seed of the wicked shall be cut off.
But the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. All right, just like these two brothers right and all those other brothers, are the seed of the wicked going to be cut off? All right, they're going to be cut from the vine of the olive tree. Because who's the olive tree? That's Israel. Are they going to be cut off? They're going to be like that, the seed that never goes wrong. That's what that was. He was trying to do the progress doing it. You know what I'm saying? What's called apple spoiled fall.
There's a book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked.
It said, be not deceived, God is not mocked. All right? We never mock the Most High. All right? We never say the Most High can't do this, the Most High can't do that. Because the Most High can do anything that he wants. Right?
For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
All right, so whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Or whatever you put into this world, all right, just like you always say, oh, you're going to say, you put that in. All right, all right, because don't think it's not. Don't mock the Most High and say he's not going to do that. Don't mock the Most High and say, that's you're basically just going against the grain of your whole existence. Because your whole existence is predicated off of you keeping the commandments. Are you doing the Most High's work? Are you bringing in 144,000 for this? All right, that's what you're doing. That's what you don't have a free will. Are you not free? Are you bonding to the covenant that the Most High made with our forefathers? That covenant that we treat with air. Everyone else says to God, the answer is God, the lion tied to this God, right? The zebra is tied to this God, the deer is tied to this God, everyone tied to this God. You know, like the white man.
There's a book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 28. Mockery and reproach are from the proud.
Mockery and reproach are from the proud. That's right. Hey, so when you're mocking somebody, you don't have to be like, when someone does that, right? It's like when you're ignorant of somebody with a theory, that's also like that's a reproach, right?
But vengeance as a lion shall.
And you got to be real proud to do that to anyone. All right, to especially do that to the Most High God. All right.
But vengeance as a lion shall lie in wait for them.
And vengeance is going to lie in wait for them. All right, he's going to lie in wait for a crowd. Okay.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 2. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes.
All right, every way of a man is right in his own eyes. Everyone that everybody does, right? Everything that everybody does, thinks that's the right. That's why they do it. They think it's okay. Right? Go ahead.
But the Lord pondereth the heart.
But the Lord pondereth the heart. Or the Most High pondered upon your mind and thinking of what you're doing. All right? Just because you're following society, you're following the white man's moral, the white man's symbol. All right? That's what you're doing.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 33. But seek ye the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
It says, seek the kingdom of God and his righteousness. All right, everything is going to be added unto you. Okay? So don't do wicked. You're supposed to seek after righteousness. All right, keep the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, keeping the precepts. Everything you have to seek to do what the Most High wants. All right, all these things are going to be added unto you. All right, not everybody will like it when you seek to the kingdom. Okay, but hey, once you get everything added unto you, you do. Okay, know that? People saw. See, right now is that people are seeking more of the world. They're seeking more of, you know what I'm saying? Because we've adapted to America so much that we just, like, you know what I'm saying? We get everything, right? Like,
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 112, verse 6. Surely he shall not be moved forever, but righteousness shall be in everlasting remembrance.
surely he shall not be moved forever. The righteousness shall be an everlasting remembrance. Are the Most High, is the Most High Scripture, the Most High Word, forever, forever. All right, the righteous will forever be remembered. All right, everybody knows what to do with the Bible. You can't ask no one in the world unless they just was born yesterday, right? That they don't know what the Bible is. Everybody knows what the Bible is. All right, everybody knows about the Most High Word. All right, Proverbs,
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 3. To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice.
Justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Most High than sacrifice. When you go up and when you do wickedly, you make a sacrifice to show repentance. But when you do judgment, when you go out here and you teach the Most High people, you're showing the wickedness. That is, the Most High loves that more than a sacrifice. All right, love that you're doing work for them. All right, verse 14. Yeah.
It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 14. But and if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye.
But if ye suffer for righteousness, happy are ye. All right, when you get scrutinized, when you get mocked, or when you get kicked around verbally or physically for the Most High sake, happy are you? You're supposed to be happy when something for the Most High sake. That means you are doing your job. Go ahead.
And be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled.
And don't be afraid of their terror. And neither be troubled. Don't be afraid of them getting mad. Don't be afraid of them cussing. Don't be afraid of them yelling at you. All right, don't be afraid of none of that. All right, and don't be afraid of their trouble. Everything they call the sun, everything they call whoever. All right, you're not supposed to be scared of them. That's right, because you have the Most High on your side. All right, you have to look back. You have to look. When we were kids, right? When we touched it in the Most High, we won. All right, but when we were scared and we were being some wussy men, we lost. We got took over.
But sanctify the Lord God in your heart, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asks you a reason of the hope that is in you.
And it says, always be ready to give an answer of him that asks of the hope. All right, you want to ask me, what is this about? What are you doing? Or why are you reading the Bible? Always be ready to have an answer. All right, that means you need to up your warfare. Not physically, but spiritually, you need to up your spiritual warfare. Up your scripture. Know what you're going to talk about. Know how you're going to answer. These are the things that has to go on when you are coming to the truth and you are going to do the most high work. Take a picture, it'll last longer. Yeah. Look away. See that? You should just say that. All right. Psalm 34:15. That would be a list. Yeah.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 15. The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry.
The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, right? So that means all these people that are doing wickedly and going through hardship, the Most High is not on them. All right, he's not hearing their cry. But the people that speak the commandments, all right, that's the cry that they hear. That's the people that they exist. The people that's trying to make an effort to do his work. Right? Not the people that know about it, right? They be lollygagging about it. You know what I'm saying? Do what they want. You know what I'm saying? Go to camp for this and that. You know what I'm saying? No. The people that actually make the effort, go out every week, or go out when they can, that's the people that make excuses. Not the people that make excuses. And not the people that, you know what I'm saying, man.
In the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, verse 15. See that none render evil or evil unto any man, but ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men.
See that none render evil for evil unto any man. Or when someone does evil to you, you don't do something back just because they did something. No. If it's not worthy of that, don't do that. That's just petty, right? But ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and of all men. All right, that's the things that we render unto people. Righteousness. Render righteousness unto all people. And we follow what is good unto all men. All right? Give me Titus chapter 2, verse 11.
It's the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 11. For the grace of God that bringeth salvation had appeared to all men, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world.
It's the
book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 11. For the grace of God that bringeth salvation had appeared to all men, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world.
No, so it's for the grace of God that bringing salvation has appeared to all men. All right, this God has appeared to all men. Everybody knows the righteousness of the Most High, right? Teaching us that denying ungodliness and lust of the world, all right, is going to make us live soberly. are in righteousness and live a long time. This is what's gonna happen. When you follow the Most High's laws, you live longer. All right, when you honor your parents, you live longer. All right, when you keep the commandments, you do this. Most High is telling you everything. Help you keep safe. So all the Most High does. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna yield on that.
That's right. We have it too.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4, verse 6. Should not all these take up a parable against him, and tainting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that laded himself with thick clay. It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 6. Should not all these take up a parable against him, and a tainting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that laded himself with thick clay.
So, woe unto him that increaseth which things does not belong to him. Read 4. Now let's read down. Let's find out something.
Verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
The soul of
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Behold, like to say, hey, understand this. The soul of him is not lifted up right in you. What does that mean? All right. The soul is your mind, right? And it has a lot to do with your characteristics and things like that. Read it again. Behold the what?
Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
You got what? You got the pedophilia ring. You got the sex ring. His soul is not upright in him, man. You cannot make straight which the Most High has made straight. You cannot do that. If it be his will, it's his will. Esau is just like that. The so-called man, white man is just like that. His soul is not upright in him. It's not. You can see it everywhere. You can see it in the legislation. You can see it in your government. You know the old Roman seats, the Republicans and the Democrats, and the liberal. You can see how their soul is not upright in them. You can see how nothing is right with what they do. Everybody knows it, but everybody take that risk. It's like they're playing Russian roulette. Everybody plays Russian roulette at the time of election. We just don't know it, and then he's going to do what we say. Gotta take a risk. We're going to see if the bullet don't shoot us. I guess, hey, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians always getting shot. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians always playing Russian roulette to see what goddamn Caucasoid Caucasian is going to rule over their rights. And he will not. He will not. His soul is not up. His soul is not lifted up right in him. His soul is not upright in him. It's not. Read.
But the just shall live by his faith.
Read.
Yet also, because his transgressed by wine, he is a proud man,
Now stop right there. Check this out. Remember, when I said in verse 6, he increased it which was not belonging to him. Start right there.
Yea, also because he transgressed it by wine.
By philosophy. That's how he transgressed. Hey, what did Biden say? If you don't vote for me, you're not black. He's using that case what we say to our own people against us. I bet you that worked for a lot of black people. Oh, he being cool, man. Look at Biden being cool. I'm gonna vote for him. I'm gonna vote for Biden just because that, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna vote for Biden because you're gonna be black, man. You know what I'm saying? You dumb fucker. Excuse my language. Hey, he transgressed by wine, man, his philosophy. Right? All the things that he says, his doctrines and everything else, he transgressed by them, his books that mean nothing. He still thinks,
he is a proud man, neither keep it at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Hey, have you ever heard this before? You gotta give me keep it not at home. Say that again.
He is a proud man, neither keep it at home.
The white man is not even in his own land. They won't even leave. Idumea is their land. Idumea is their land. Caucasus Mountains is where they used to stay. They do not want to go back to their own land. They want to stay where they are. And they steadily talk about their ancestors and what they've done, and they don't want to give nothing back. They don't want to leave. So it makes them guilty by association. Right? All white people are murderers. They're guilty. Even though they didn't do it. You know their ancestors did it. You know that their grandfathers did it. You know it. But the fact that they're still here makes them guilty by association. They're guilty.
Right?
Makes them murder. Makes them kill. Makes them racist. It makes them all the above. Even though they didn't do it. And I understand they didn't do it. I get it. But they still help it. They still push white supremacy by showing up to a job site and telling the black and Hispanic boy where to go to work and everything else. Because their cousin and uncle put them in that position. Their cousin and uncle put them. That's more about these white folks. Keep on. It's about the so-called white and multi-nation or this man that walked across us, right?
Who enlarged his desire as hell.
He's enlarging his desire as hell. What is his desire? Fondling little boys, having sex with little girls and drinking their blood, piece of cake. That is the things that they do. They do those things. They're nasty as hell. And nobody but us will call them on their ish. Keep going.
And is as dead and cannot be satisfied.
They will never be satisfied, read.
But gather it unto him all nations.
And that's what they do. They gather to him all nations. Everybody. Come on over here. Come to America. Come and live with us. Because they got all these philosophies and doctrines in your land, and it's hell to make you run from your land over there.
And heap unto him all people.
That's what they do. God loves everybody, right?
Should not all these take up a parable against him, and a tasty proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
The Most High said, woe to them that increaseth what is not his. None of them children from that pedophilia ring y'all got belong to you. Woe to you, destruction. The land doesn't belong to you. Woe to you, destruction to you. So-called white. The building that was built doesn't belong to you. The wood belonged to the Hispanic and Native Indian. You had them cut it down, make the wood, make the 2x4, build the building for you, was money you stole, was wood you stole, everything that you stole, the possessions that you stole, the resources that you stole, everything that you stole, woe to you. That increases things that does not belong to him. The computer was not designed by you. The phone that you have is not designed by you. None of your people. But you reap the benefits of things that don't belong to you. Woe to you. That's all I'm saying. It's destruction to you, man. Hey, I'm not even done with the so-called white. There's so much stuff that I got written down that I want to say about these people because everybody else has let them ride because they scared as hell to say something. And guess what they do? The fact that they scared as hell to say something, they get mad at us for pointing it out because they don't want you pointing that out. And then they'll get bucked with you. They get real bucked with you and want to fight you instead of fighting the motherfucker that was talking about. That's what happened, but you bring it to us. That's how you can tell who you're around. When they'll fight you for the truth. They will damn near cut you off for the truth. They will cut you off, man. And they will say, I don't think like that around here. So you don't think about the truth like that around here? And they'll be like, man, I'm a real motherfucker. They sure will. Let me see. Give me Isaiah 47 and look. Isaiah 33. And this has to do with those who increase riches things that don't belong to them.
It's the book of Isaiah. There's a book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 1. Woe to thee that spoileth, and thou was not spoiled.
Woe to thee that spoileth, because thou was not spoiled. Nobody spoiled them. Nobody did nothing to them. They got what they deserved. That was it. And they were left out of captivity after 1,000 years. Woe to them that spoiled, but you were not spoiled. Read.
And dealeth treacherously, and they dwelt not treacherously with thee.
No.
When thou cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee.
And that's the end days record. People let you in their land, they didn't spoil you. But when you got bigger and stronger, you wanted to spoil them. When you weren't spoiled, nobody dealt treacherously with you. They let you live in your land and do what you do, as long as you weren't dealing with people in the righteous way. But nobody dealt with you treacherously, but they like to deal with other people treacherously. But guess what? That day when it stopped to cease treating people treacherously, people are going to treat them treacherously. But that goes to say, they will never stop treating people treacherously. They will never stop spoiling people because they believe once they stop, other people are going to do it to them. That's why the white man will never stop doing what he does. Because he feels if he stops, you're going to do it to him. So the only way to get rid of a virus is if you detox him out of your body. You gotta get rid of a virus. You can't let a virus live. They'll continue to spread false doctrines and nasty wine all over the place. It will just always be.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt.
The what?
The burden of Egypt.
What's the burden? Captivity. False economic growth. School pipeline. That's a burden. What's that? Killing the black Hispanics and Native Indians. Taking of land. Everything else. Read.
Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence.
So what shall be moved at his presence?
And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence.
This is the idol of Egypt right here. That's the idol of Egypt right there, read.
And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
In the heart of Egypt, what is that? It's philosophy. It's doctrines, the things that they like and they cherish the most. It's going to melt. You're going to see the Lord and his people come here, man, and everything that you know will melt. It's going away. It's no more. And then once you really going to find out what you're going to do. Once all the doctrines, the lies that we exposed, and you start hearing and listening to the things that we told you before, that was going to pass away. Read.
And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
You will what?
I will set the Egyptians against the
He's not
Egyptians.
talking about, oh, is we talking about this new Egypt. White people are going to go against each other because they are the Egyptians here. Read.
And they shall fight everyone against his brother.
And they're going to do that because a nation divided against itself cannot stand. Didn't they charge up the state capital? A nation divided against itself cannot stand, man. They're going to fight against each other, read.
And everyone against his neighbor.
And this one costs everybody else. Not just white people are going to fight against each other. It's going to be neighbor against neighbor now. We're going into race wars like now, read.
City against city.
Hey, Chula Vista is going to be against El Cajon. Go ahead.
And kingdom against kingdom.
You got the United States going to be the Middle East, and then you're going to have the South American. South America's going to have missiles pointed over here because they over there with China. China giving money to the South Americans and everything. Right?
And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof.
Woo.
And they shall seek to the idols.
And they shall what?
And they shall seek to the idols.
They're going to be so damn scared. They're going to try to run right back to these idols to do what? Watch it.
And to the charmer and to them that have familiar spirits.
They're going to be like, now I'm going to a primary place. Tell us what's going to happen. Tell us what's going to happen. She might say an angel, when Alahayim might get up on her and tell her, that, hey, why didn't you just listen to those brothers that was on the corner?
And to the wizard.
That's what they're going to speak to. Sorry, that's what they're going to speak to.
And the Egyptians will I give over into the land of a cruel Lord. And a fierce king shall rule over them.
And that's what they're mad about now. These so-called white men is mad about the ruler that is over them right now. It's all prophecy. They're mad about it. None of them wanted Biden. They wanted Trump to stay evil. The Most High said he's going to get them over to a people, which is Biden. None of them wanted Biden. It's prophecy, right? You don't get no better than this. Isaiah 13.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 6. How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand.
Say it again.
How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt.
And that day shall all men's hands be faint, and shall what? All men's
And every man's heart shall melt.
Every man's heart shall melt in that day. When race wars happen, men's hands will be faint. They ain't gonna know what to do or how to fight. They're just gonna give up. Because all this liberty they had, they took for granted. They didn't seek the Most High like they were supposed to. Really?
Verse 8, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them.
Pangs and what?
And sorrows
You know
shall
what pangs is? Obesity. Obesity shall take up them, man. Pangs and sorrow. You're going to be fat and overweight and can't do nothing. Read.
and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. And they shall be in pain as the women that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames.
Woo, their face gonna be like this. Look, here you go. It's gonna be like flames. That's how it's gonna look. When somebody faces as flames, they worry and they got that depression on their face, man. They hot. Their mind is hot, read.
Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel with wrath and fierce anger.
Hey, it's coming, everybody. We've been telling y'all everything is playing out the way we said it's going to happen. The way the Most High said it was going to happen. We're telling you, it's going to happen, man. It's about to be race wars all through it. And it's almost a famine in the grocery store, man. They took across the farms out of the store. The chicken was on slow. It's about to be a slow famine. You might as well pack a perishables up at your house, beans, rice, and stuff like that. Ain't gonna be no more meat. Those about to be a race more than, hey, everything is starting to go back to the way it was. That's when everything is going to happen. Trust me when I tell you, hell is coming to this place. Go ahead.
To lay the land desolate,
Yeah.
and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
You're right, destroy all y'all. All y'all are sick, destroy all y'all.
For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light.
Nope. That means war. That means fire. Didn't they say what China got a missile? That's exactly what just struck out in space. Oh, it's a rocket?
They're finally building
Space station. So they're trying to install themselves to the stars and build a station up there. So I don't get it. Why would you fuck up a whole good land and want to build your house in the stars? That is stupid, man.
And then eventually doing it, it goes wrong. Well, it didn't really go wrong. It's just the missile thing just fell off early. Now it's floating around above us. We don't know where it is right now. Well, we don't. The government does.
Yeah.
But the government is choosing not to shoot it down because it could easily, like they said, like yesterday it could have come on New York. And then but once that falls, that's not the only that's falling. It's the debris, all the metals and everything like that, the metal debris and everything. That's gonna fall. Yeah, we're gonna start breathing that in, stuff like that. Like you got other metal pieces that's gonna be falling and stuff, right? Remember, like if you think about it, when something's in an orbit, it's supposed to burn. It's supposed to burn. But this thing is so big, it's 21 tons. The thing is so big that it's not even burning. So it's supposed to fall this weekend. Before it falls. It could fall either in Africa or it could fall in New York.
It's gonna fall where they want it to fall. That's what I believe. I know they're gonna fall where they want it to fall.
That's the one I'm reading. And the moon shall and the sun shall be darkened, and his going forth, and the
That's the day when all this war stop popping off. The sky gonna be so black, ain't nobody gonna be able to see nothing. I mean, you're gonna have the elements are always going to ignite, but it's just the stars you won't be able to see. All right, but who's gonna know how it's gonna be that day when it's like you can't even see the sky anymore? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease.
He will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. The proud in this book are in the image of the so-called white man. And when I say by his image, his philosophies, his doctrines, everything that he's about, they're about. They will be the proud. Because our own people come up here proud too. But they're only being like their masters. They're only being just like them.
And I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
The heart, say it again.
The
haughtiness.
haughtiness of the terrible.
He will lay down the haughtiness of the terrible. All right? The terrible, who will be terrible that we can name in government, on TV, the haughtiness of the terrible. A lot of our men and women going down with that. But he already starting in Israel first. You got Trump, you got Democrats, haughtiness and terrible. They're just terrible as hell. Everything they do is terrible. I heard that they're letting out about at least 27,000 inmates. How many of those that went in for killing? How many of those are cops? I mean, not cop killers, but the cops that kill black, they're gonna let out too. I'm not trying to have to pay it. So, yeah.
It's the book of Second Ezra, chapter 15, verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt.
So what is he doing? He's saving. He's saving 1/4 of Israel. But he's saving 1/3 of Israel. And the other Israel, he's taking them out. You say kids been took out. People are just being took out. Old girl got a butter knife with something in her hand. Well, she just got jumped. She's getting taken. Why? She's out of order. You gotta blame the father for that. You can't blame nobody but the father. In all actuality, you gotta blame the father. Now, if the father ain't home, you gotta blame the mother because the father is not home. Now, we're gonna have to examine the whole concept of why the father is not home. We're gonna have to talk to the woman. We're gonna have to really thoroughly break her down and see why that man ain't there. Period. But ultimately, it was your choice. You chose it. You can't say, hey, I was young and dumb. I am not letting that go. Ain't no such thing. You made a choice. You were not young and dumb. You should have got your father's advice in the first place. Period. All right?
Verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretch out arm and smite Egypt with plagues.
So we coming after we watch everything go down. Because it's a lesson what not to do no more. This is what happens that we read 2nd Ezra 13, 40, 44. When you go to 2nd Ezra 14, chapter 14, the Most High tells you why we don't have the kingdom right now. Because you need to understand why you should never let this happen in the first place. Again, he's having us go through this so you will understand how important it is to have a kingdom and to not let it go into the hands of another nation. That's why we're going through this. It is a lesson. But everybody else, the 2/3, which walk by us daily without saying nothing, that's your walking charcoal. They're going to help ignite this fire. And Lord willing, you or I are not in that fire. Read. You done with
and smite Egypt with plagues, and as before.
So the same plagues that were in old Egypt are going to be here in this new. Go to verse 3. Was that it on it?
And will destroy all the land thereof. Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the imprisonedly
I said it right. Didn't I say it? Did I say it right? All right. The statement being unwilling or unable to believe something. I read that. I read it again. Incredulity, the state of being unwilling or unable to believe something. Go ahead.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 3. Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee.
So just because they don't believe, is that going to make the Lord not affect? No. It's still going to happen. So we're not going to let these people that don't believe nothing or unwilling to believe something affect what we're doing. Never let the incredulity of another people that don't believe what you're doing or saying affect what you're doing. Read.
That speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
And that has a lot to do with people. When I was coming into the truth and I was dealing with friends and family, they didn't believe or they was unwilling to believe the truth. Hey man, don't let them affect you. Don't let none of that affect you, man, because they're going to die in their iniquity. Go ahead.
Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world.
Right.
The sword,
right.
Famine, death, and destruction.
For the sword, famine, death, and destruction. It's about to be another famine in those stores. I can see it coming. Can you see it coming? The stores are ready. They started dropping a lot of things. They talk about meat.
They're putting on the news that they're getting low on chicken. A lot of these stores are, a lot of people are craving chicken sandwiches and wings.
Right.
So they're going low on chicken.
Right.
Meat also too. Red meat kind of going out.
Right.
They're trying to make fake meat now.
That's what happened. That's the start of a famine. When you start making fake meat.
They're already doing it for the vegan people. They complain about eating meat and so they eat soy. For wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
It has.
And their heartful workers.
Hey, you know what's the wickedness? Womanism, feminism is wickedness.
And their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more.
He said he's holding his tongue no more. Hey, you think that the evil that's done in this place is not of the Lord? It's of the Lord, man.
As touching their wickedness.
As what? As touching your wickedness, say it again.
As touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them. And those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold,
homosexuality is wickedness. You're fat. A woman with another woman, you're fat. You're a bag of sticks, okay? Read.
Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me.
These are righteous ancestors that are there, the innocent. The people that died that were innocent, they didn't do nothing wrong, but they died. Innocent. Go ahead.
And the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter.
The black, Hispanics, and Native Indians are led as a flock to the slaughter. They don't know what the hell is going on, but they died for no damn reason. They crossed the border and died. Black people put their hands on the steering wheel and died. Native Indians are oppressed on their own damn land and drink themselves to death. Read.
I will not suffer them now that dwell in the land of Egypt. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt.
He would not rather them dwell anymore in the land of Egypt. And he's tired of it. And everything is about to happen, whether you like it or not. Go ahead.
But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretch out arm and smite Egypt with plague as before. As before.
Read.
And will destroy all the land thereof.
Go read 14 and 19. And now this is what happened right here. This is prophecy. This is just what happened. This is just what he's about to read. It's happened already. Read.
Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with thee, plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the
Oh, you ready? You ready?
for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hell, and with a fearful constellation.
And that's what happened to a lot of the farmers that are coming over here with their visas and stuff from Mexico. And they coming over here with these farmers and they farming their lands out here. Why? It's gonna go away. Because they're breaking the law anyway. They're cleaning their farmland and everything. They leaving nothing on there for the poor or for the stranger. You're taking everything off of the land that you're farming. You don't leave nothing for nobody because you're greedy. So the Most High is going to hit your land with blasting. All you farmers out there that glean the whole damn land of fruit, it will be held away. Hell will hit your land. All your crops and everything that you grow is going away because you glean the land. You don't even give the land a Sabbath. That shows how greedy you are. Go ahead.
Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draw at night. And one people shall stand up to fight against another. And swords in their hands.
A modern day sword is a gun. These guns are going to be in their hands, right? Why? Keep going.
For there shall be sedation among men.
There shall what?
There shall be sedation among men.
There's going to be sedition among men. Hatred. All of that. It's going to be sedition among men. What? Sooner or later, everybody's going to hate each other. Because that spirit's going to be out. Go ahead.
And invading one another.
I'm going into your house, robbing you. Go ahead.
They should not regard their king nor prince.
Yeah, what they happened? The state capitol. They did not regard the police. They didn't care. They didn't care at all, man. They didn't regard their princes, their nobles and everything, their congressmen, and they just went up there and did what they wanted to do. Go ahead.
And the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Hold on. Say it again.
And the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
The course of their actions will stand in their power. What they just did, let every white person in the world know that it's time for them to do whatever they got to do at their own will. Go ahead.
A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
So what are we under right now? Martial law still? We are still under martial law. Everybody walking around like they're not. The only people that are going to be walking around like there is no martial law is the so-called white man, woman, and child. Because they feel that they're above the law, which they are. They act just like it. Go ahead.
Or because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The house shall be destroyed. And man shall be afraid.
And man shall be afraid. Give me that word again,
For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled.
Because of their pride, the city shall be troubled.
The houses shall be destroyed.
There you go.
The houses shall be destroyed.
The houses will get destroyed. See?
And man shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods. Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
And it's for the people that are not going to really pay attention to when we tell them it's time to stock up. Those are the ones that's going to be running inside the store. It's going to be only 3 days worth of food left in that store once that famine hits. It's going to happen. All right? Is that it? And with that, we give all praises, honor, and glory all the time to the Most High Yahweh. And we do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Mashiach Yahweh Shai, who the world is called Jesus Christ.
Shema Yasharala Yahweh, Alahayanawa Yahweh Ahud.
Hear Israel, Lord God, the Lord.
Come.